Let me tell you how I got trapped in Jamaica. Clients have asked me or been asking me, or like they come and sit in the chair because let's see, today is the 22nd. I just started back working since this year started on the 17th. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. I went to Jamaica on the 28th of December, and there was a few reasons that I needed to go down there, and one of the main reasons was to give my mom's remains to my brother. Okay, so basically we were trying to last year we were trying to coordinate her service for Jamaica for the first Sunday in January, and that didn't happen because in the midst of we're coordinating with Uncle Denzel, which is the elder of the church that she was a member of while she was down there. Uncle Denzel is my brother's biological uncle. My brother is the one who's really the one that's coordinating the Jamaica service, and then I was kind of responsible, or not necessarily responsible. We're working together, but I was the main one that was doing the service for the States, and then he's doing the service for Jamaica because we have family down there that wasn't able to come up for the service, so we had to have two services. Anyway, I was like, tell Uncle Denzel, please, can we have the service first Sunday in January? And my brother's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna, talk to Uncle Denzel and let coordinate everything. Don't worry, whatever. So lo and behold, my brother called me and said Uncle Denzel had a heart attack. Uncle Denzel had a heart attack and passed away. And so now his service is scheduled for the first Sunday of January. And I still needed to go down to give my mom's remains to my brother. He said he's just gonna hold the remains until we can decide on another time to have a service. So that was like one of the main reasons that I needed to personally get down to Jamaica. So the day that I was trying to schedule for my mom's service was the day that I ended up going to Uncle Denzel's service. So next thing, moving along, we're scheduled to get back to the States on the 9th. Pack up everything, pull up to the airport. Lo and behold, I am denied entry into the United States of America. Everybody else can go, my baby, my baby's father, my stepson. Everybody can go, but me, denied entry. Now, the reason for the denial was because my passport, my travel document, was expired. I was not aware that my passport had expired, and that's completely my fault. I was not on top of things like I needed to be, and did not even realize that the passport was expired until we was at the airport coming down. Now I come down on the passport and they stop me into the country. I can show you the stamp, but when it's time to go back, they say I can't go back. One something. So Thursday was the 19th, and that's when them decide to have Jimmy Carter International Day of Mourning. All government agencies are closed, so therefore everybody had to leave because they didn't want to miss the flight. It's better for me to miss one flight than to miss all of the flights because the flights are non-refundable. So now I had to wait until Friday to do anything at all. Fortunately enough, I didn't have to spend the time in there. I had my nephew's mom, basically my sister-in-law. Hold on one second. Hello.
Hey, Kim.
Hey.
I'm at the store. What was the name of it? Not the Irish glue, but the bond.
Oh, it's grip bond.
Grip bond. Is it? Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, so fortunately enough, that I had somewhere safe to be, and that was not that far from the airport. So, you know, that's where I had to be. Friday morning, bright and early, we wake up and we go to the Montego Bay consulate, and that is like a branch of the U.S. Embassy from Kingston. I'm at the consulate, and they're like, you should be able to go back on your passport with the same airline that you came down on. Go back to the airport and I guess talk to the airline manager or whoever's the manager of that, and explain to them what happened, and they should be able to let you go back. Because I got this information now, I was on the phone all day. The airline that I was that I flew with was Frontier. I'm not gonna give them any grief because they did work with me. Okay, so Frontier now, I was back and forth with them and changed the flight from Thursday to Saturday, thinking that all I had to do was talk to the people. They said, yeah, I need to get like an emergency document or whatever, paper, something, and then I can go back to the airport and they would send me back home. Went to the airport, they sent me back to the consulate. Went to the consulate, they booked me an appointment for Kingston. So this is Friday. Nothing can happen over the weekend because Saturday and Sunday the embassy is closed. So they said they would accommodate me Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Monday morning at 3 a.m. I am up and getting ready to leave from Montego Bay to Kingston. We left like around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Driving to Kingston. We didn't get to Kingston until like 8:30. Get to the embassy, and they said I couldn't take nothing in, no phone, no. I had my Apple Watch on, and I went through the thing, and they sent me back outside. They said, "Oh, she got a smartwatch." I'm like, what? Where? At this point, okay, so the driver had already pulled off. I don't have any phone on me because I had to leave everything with the driver because nothing was allowed in the building. The Apple Watch not allowed in the building. So one of the officers that was outside, I said, "Can you please hold this watch for me because I need to go inspect through the checkpoint or whatever." So anyway, went through the checkpoint again. I'm getting nervous because it's close to 9 o'clock and I don't know how the system's set up, and I don't know, like, if I go in there and it's at 9:05, they say no, you know, or whatever, come back next day or whatever. I don't know. So anyway, when I go in the place, I reach, I'm like, where I'm supposed to go, and then I went to one officer and he was like, oh, you know, you just have to go straight down there. And when I tell you guys, I start crying. I just felt so overwhelmed. I was just crying till somebody had to give me tissue. I said, don't worry, man, it's your go workouts, don't worry, it's a go workout. And I'm like, my nerves bad, you know, I'm going through ups and downs, and they're sending me back and forth here and there, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so I'll go into the place I'm supposed to be. I go up to the window and I presented my information. I fill out the wrong form. So I had to fill out a different form, pay some money. This was Monday. Hold on. The 13th, okay? Monday the 13th. After I refill all the documents, give the lady all the stuff, whatever, give her the little thing, the receipt that I paid and everything. I was sitting down waiting, and I'm like, Lord, please, please, Lord, please, let them have mercy upon me, please. Please, may I beg you, please. I'm like, Lord, please, may I beg you, please. Jesus, may I beg you. May I pray, may I pray, may I pray, may I pray, may I pray. Go up to the window, and the man said, they don't see my situation as an emergency for me to get an emergency document. And I'm like, that's what they said that I was going to receive when I get here. They said to come to the embassy and I would get an emergency document so I can go home. And I've been down here 2+ weeks, bills piling up, this piling up, you know, so many things can go left, are going left. Like, I need to get back, please. So me dey on my knees and my hands up, pan the ground in the people them place. Please, please, please give me the emergency document, me I beg you, please. Me say, y'all ever watch those African movies where they get down on their hands and knees?
Just go and join that bastard you call your husband.
Please. I'm begging you, please. Oh, God.
But anyways, that was me. The Jamaican version. Please, please. So anyways, they denied me the emergency document. So this was Monday. Monday, when we come back on the way, when I leave the place, I'm crying. The officer is holding me up, not really holding me up, but you know, kind of like leading me out, and he's like, you know, they're the people that can help you, and if they decide that they're not gonna help you, then there's nobody else you can talk to and stuff like that. So he's like, you know, just take it easy, and you know, them I try just console me. So on the way out of the place, I am crying. I'm crying from the building all the way, because it's like, it's really my fault that all this happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain things or certain information I wasn't aware of at the time. Like, when you're traveling internationally, there's like certain rules and regulations that I wasn't up to date with or whatever. And so you know, I just didn't know. So now I know. I should have known. I should have probably read up on international traveling. I'm going to travel internationally, you know, like check my passport document before we come down, because I just thought it was good, it was fine, it was dandy. And anyways, so so I'm crying. I get out to the place, and I have to borrow one of the officers' phone to call back the driver to let him know that I was out there. And the driver, when he pull up, well, I got my watch too, because I told one of the officers, I said, officer, I think his name was Anderson. I said one of the officers named Anderson had my watch. And then he called him and said, okay, let me call him. And he called him, and he was like, you know, you have this young lady watch? And I said, yes, a pink Apple Watch. So I got the watch, and then he said, okay, we could call back the driver. So I called the driver and say, hey, the young lady is waiting here, you know, to come on and get picked up. So the driver now pull up, and we just have tears, and we never get the emergency document. Then deny me. What I could do, them say I have to wait up to 2 weeks. We never even said at the part there. That's why I had started crying, because they tell me I had to wait 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and we're talking about the 13th, the 13th of January. So that puts you from 2 full weeks would be like the 27th. You know what I'm saying? That's next week, Monday. I tell you how God is good. Anyhow, then I was like, I can't wait 2 weeks. I have to get back before then. I have to get. But he said, you know, sometime it can take a few days. Like, I guess, you know, 2 weeks is the general time span. It can take a few days. So I'm like, okay, hold now, hope it'll take a few days. The next step from leaving the embassy was to go to DHL to arrange with them to receive the to arrange with them as to where the passport would go after the embassy sent it to them. So I have to go to there and say, okay, this is the address I'm at in Jamaica, to send the passport either to this address or send it to the other DHL, and I can in Montego Bay, and I can get a ride to go and pick it up. So we did that. The driver dropped me off at the DHL spot, and I was in there for a little while, talked to the person. I said, you know, in your experience of the US passport or whatever, you know, how long do you normally see the changeover or the transaction happen? And she's like, you know, I can't really guarantee, you know, for your particular situation, but, you know, it can take days, it can take weeks or whatever. I'm like, okay, thank you. So the driver knows say you're most hungry because, you know, eat from morning and it's like midday or so, 1 o'clock. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, we'll just eat a patty. Excuse me. So anyway, I think the driver felt bad for me, or just, you know, just saw that I was in distress and was like, you know, let me just, instead of taking the highway, let's take the country, and so you can see some views, just, you know, whatever. And so, you know, we stopped, we get something to eat. We went to Taste the Patty. But truly, I'm a juicy beef girl. But the juicy beef never there around. We passed 2 Tasty Patty places before we say 1 juicy beef. Not going to be upset about that. Cause the patty them did okay. Fill my belly. So I had 2 Tasty Patty and a true juice and a cherry true juice. So anyway, that was that. You know, me I eat my patty, me I drink my juice. And where I drive through the countryside and drive over flat bridge, and it's like I remember driving over that flat bridge when I was younger, and how me so afraid and me shut behind. Me don't want to see the 2 sides because me want to make sure I say when me open my eye reach the other side. Because if you know flat bridge, it's like only 1 vehicle can go 1 direction at a time, and the little bridge is like so small and you can jump over the edge. But anyway, we took that route, and you know, I was driving, and the driver was driving, and I was looking through the window, like, you know, taking in the beauty of the island and the countryside and the people there and everything. So we stopped whole heap of time though before we reach home. One of the time we stopped, my accent changed. One of the time that we stopped was at a Rastaman I guess cook spots. They have cook shop, cook spot, whatever out there. And it was kind of cool because he was roasting yam. I've never had roast yam. I don't like yam and those kind of things. And you might be like, how are you Jamaican and you don't like those? I was traumatized as a child. That's the next story. I probably might, you know, include more story time, but that's the next story for another day. But this is just, you know, basically my life and business ownership, and you know how things can, when things can go left, they rely on you or whatever. Anyway, so we stop at the cook spot, and the Rasta man was cooking the roast yam and mackerel, salt mackerel, and salt fish, and he was cooking soup and some other stuff. So the driver now, his name is Frank. He is a beautiful individual. I'm going to insert his he has a YouTube channel, and I think it's interesting for you guys to indulge in.
Coming from the reasoning place, do you know one of Jamaica #1 resource? Yes, it is tourism. And with what is going on in the streets of Jamaica today, if you believe the tourists them get panic, get afraid, because each individual in this life, have a right to be scared, And if you keep on mashing up island home Jamaica, I talk some brothers and some sisters, mostly the youth them, where they drop each other on a day-to-day basis in the street. And we get the killer name instead of the love name. Some people say Jamaica is a killing ground, And I saw it set. But I still believe that Jamaica is one of the most loving places on planet Earth right now.
Frank stopped at this place, and I tell him, I said, I don't want my own serving because I eat little bit. So my mom always said I eat like a bird. So I got the piece of yam and I dose it with pepper, with the salt mackerel and the saltfish. It was so good. And the best, I think the only time I could eat yam is that kind of way. So that was an experience. Then we left the Rastaman spot and was driving again. I would stop and get jackfruits, and I was sitting in the car, and the guy at the stand that was selling the fruits, he had apple. And it's crazy, because Jamaican apple is my favorite apple. Okay, them apple what them have here don't have nothing, me tell you, nothing for a Jamaican apple. Man, when I first moved here, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I'm asking about an apple. I said there's an apple and it's like dark red, and then it have a big seed, and I'm like, you guys ever see that kind of apple? And then I think it was like at school, and they're like, no, the only thing that big seed is avocado. And I'm like, you mean pear? It's like, no, pear have small seed. And I'm like, no, pear have a big seed. So it's like pure confusion. Then I had to come to terms with that there's no such thing as that particular apple in the United States. I was very sad, and I never liked apple, and I didn't start drinking apple juice until I was pregnant, which is crazy because I couldn't get enough of apple juice when I was pregnant. And then now it's like I'm like apple juice a lot, like too much, like I need my own bottle in the fridge type deal. So my relationship with American apples has grown somewhat, but it does not top a Jamaican apple. But the man at the stand, when we got the jackfruit, he came around the car and was like, oh, I see you sitting down in here, and gave me the apple. I was like, oh, look at God, it was sad. It cheered me up. So anyway, we finally reached home like 4 o'clock. I was so tired because I was up from 3 o'clock. And at that point, I had accepted the fact that I was going to be in Jamaica for way longer than I had anticipated. And I had proceeded to reschedule my clients for the week up until Thursday. I actually reached out to my Friday client, but I had the wrong number, thank God. So her appointment was still standing when I got back Thursday night. I was back in the salon Friday morning. So Anyway, so I download, let's go back to, okay, so we reach home. I downloaded the DHL app. They had a little thing for me to scan, and it said package will be arriving on Thursday. So I'm like, okay, my flight is Thursday. I had finally switched my flights. It would have I spoke to somebody from Frontier, and they said they was gonna waive the change fare, the change fare fee, which was like $90 something, and only thing I had to was responsible for was the difference in the flight, and she was able to change the flight without any charge to me. So I was like, okay, Thursday it is. So I got home, I'm checking the package, it said Thursday. So I said, that's cutting it close because my flight is Thursday morning. So anyway, Monday now, reschedule everybody. Asked for a book from my sister-in-law, and she gave me, I'm just gonna call it my sister. Asked for a book, and my nephew, he has like a whole lot of old school books, so I got one of the composition books, and I started writing in there like work things like I needed to do, making a checklist. And I was like, okay, let me do some online work while I'm down here. You know, I don't have anybody to distract me. I'm down here. I feel like Moses in the backside of the desert. If you don't know about that story, go and read the Bible about when Moses was in the backside of the desert. Anyway, so I'm praying, I'm asking God for deliverance, and studying my Sabbath school quarterly, and reading my reading up on scripture passages and all of this. And what else is there left to do but to turn to God at this point, because only God I have every day, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was Monday adventure. Tuesday was chill. Tuesday I decided to do some self-care. I did my nails down there. I used the Beatles nail kit. If you don't know about the Beatles nail kit, it's kind of like that happy medium between press-ons and acrylics. So it's beautiful, okay? And this nail polish that I use is was it Sally Hansen Quick Dry, because I don't have time for the shenanigans. So these actually been on my nails since before I left Jamaica. So Tuesday gone, what's today? Wednesday. So it's been a week and one day. So did my nails, did my self-care, took a shower, you know, what else did I do? I just got myself together, wash some clothes, hang them up on the line, do all of that Tuesday. Just, you know, I'm here. Tuesday evening, I checked the DHL tracking thing, and it's showing something that I don't understand. I'm going to insert it. But I'm like, what does this mean? So I asked somebody in the house, I'm like, what does this mean? And she explained it to me. And I was like, let me double check this. So that night, I took a screenshot and I asked my AI assistant, what does this mean? When my AI assistant, her name is Amara, she has a name, and her name is Amara. When I asked Amara what is to explain it to me, and she tell me, my heart nearly dropped out of my chest. But it's like I was like, relax, chill, just in the morning when you wake up, call DHL, find out what's going on. So I wake up, I call DHL, I tell them what's going on, and you know, how can I get the package soon or whatever, you know, what's the protocol, da da da. DHL tell me that the package has not left the embassy, or the package is still at the embassy. Either way, how would I go? Lock some what I think. The package is still at the embassy. He said what I would suggest is you call them as soon as possible to find out what is going on and how they can help you. Okay, thank you. Hang up with DHL. Call the embassy at the US what's it? ACS, American Citizen Services. So I called them. The lady was like, yes, I was reviewing your documents earlier, and we saw that there was a spelling error with your middle name and was had to resubmit the passport. I said, well, what does that mean? Because when I look on DHL, it said the passport was going to be here tomorrow. This is Wednesday, you know. The flight is the Thursday morning. So she said, oh no, the passport wouldn't have been ready until either next week or the week after next. So I'm like, no, the gentleman I spoke to, he said it could take a few days. And when I checked the DHL tracking, I've been checking it. I can show the screenshot. It said that it was supposed to come by Thursday. So she said, well, applying for a US passport is 2 weeks, and the thing with the spelling error with my middle name and blah blah blah. So I said, oh Lord, like I'm talking to her and back and forth. Now I'm not gonna go into the depths of the conversation, but in the midst of me talking to her, and you know, we're coming off of the phone from each other, she was tell me to email the embassy and tell them that to please issue me a emergency passport because I'm facing financial challenges or something like that. So I said, okay. I come off the phone. No, this time I'm sounding sick because I'm not feeling well. My stomach was starting to give me problems. I don't know, because I was stressed out or whatever. I was like nauseous. I just was like all kind of messed up Wednesday. And so I was like, okay, I gotta send an email. So as I call my sister and I tell her you know what the conversation was with this lady, and as I got off the phone with her, the lady called me back. So she called me back and said, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and issue the emergency passport, print it out. So they print out the emergency passport, and she said if you can get here by 1:30, then she said 3 o'clock too, I'm pretty sure. But apparently they close at 1:30. I don't know if she leave the building at 3 and we was willing to stay till 3 o'clock or what. But she said if you can get here before 1:30 or get your first thing 7 o'clock in the morning, you know, you can get your passport, because I have to be the one to pick it up. So I told her, I said, you know, I'm in Montego Bay and it's like 3 hours to Kingston, especially with traffic and everything. That's like 4 hours, you know, and I'm not gonna get there in time. At this point it was like between 11 and 12 o'clock in the day, and she's saying 1:30. That's the time frame, you know, doesn't add up. So called back her sister and she said somebody out there that she know have a thing that they're doing at UE, which is pretty close to the embassy, and they can go and pick it up. So I called back the lady and I spoke to her and I said, you know, can I have someone pick the passport up for me on my behalf, because 1, I'm not feeling well, and 2, I'm too far to get the passport by 1:30. So she said, yes, I have to send an email to the embassy and state that I am authorizing said person, first and last name, date of birth, to pick up my passport on my behalf. Sent out email, and the person was able to make it in time, pick up the passport, and then shipped it out on a courier service. So the courier service now is supposed to reach Montego Bay between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. I'm trying to relax, and I'm like, okay, during this time, my sister she's a part of like Ministry of Health and those kind of things. So they were setting up the grand opening for two facilities. So I think one was like a clinic, and then the other one was a mental health facility for adolescents. So we went there around 8 o'clock or so, because when we went to the place at 7:30, we went there to the first, and they closed at 8 o'clock. But the guy said that the courier service has not reached yet. The bus is on the way. If we come back before 9 o'clock, you know, he won't close out the register. He will accommodate us, and I will be able to get my passport that night, Wednesday night. So anyway, we go back. We left from there, went to the place to set up for the venue, and you know, make sure everything was okay and whatever. Come back now around 9 o'clock. The gentleman sitting outside in his car. Like, what's going on? So we talked to the guy, and he said the courier bus not reached yet, but they are on the way. They're gonna reach soon. There was a delay with them leaving Kingston, so they're on the way. So I'm gonna insert that too, because so in case you guys want curious, basically it's a bus that also it carries people and packages. So like if you live in Montego Bay but you fly through Kingston, you can take the bus and come up to Montego Bay, and it has like different stops. You can stop different places or whatever. But anyway, the bus never reached till about 10 o'clock. After 10, we see the passport in my hand. We said, thank you, Lord. Thank you so much. So that's how I'm here today. That is how I'm here today. When I tell you, I was initially denied the emergency passport, and then I was granted the emergency passport one day prior to leaving. And I understand that this situation was a miracle, that God worked on my behalf. Like when I say only God could have done this, only, like, you know, like sometimes things happen and you can say, oh, because I did this, or because she did that, or because so and so carried me here, or because, when I tell you, God was the one who made a way for me to be back here. And you know, like, I could possibly have lost the space. You know, I'm sitting here in my salon, and I'm behind on my bills with the salon because initially my mom came to visit me and she felt ill while she was here. So then I was rescheduling appointments to go and visit her at the hospital and back and forth. And then when she eventually passed, it was like, okay, so now we have to go down to Florida. I'm in Alabama, and to pay for tickets, and you know, like I didn't foresee or plan that I would be losing my mom, and I didn't have any reserve for anything of that nature. So the money that I'm making is like right at the, you know, maintenance amount, you know what I'm saying? Like enough to where I can pay my rent, pay my light, pay, you know, for my bills that's automatically coming out of my accounts and everything. And then when you overextend yourself, now you end up in a deficit. So I'm currently in a deficit. So it's like, you know, being a business owner, being a full-time mom, you know, and balancing and maintaining, and, you know, there's like a lot of responsibilities. Like, it's like, anyway, let's talk about, I guess, my spiritual growth. Okay, so since this has occurred to me, I have developed a closer relationship with God. And that's probably why he allowed this to happen to me, because he knew that this would allow me to see him, you know, because I'm floating through life or whatever. And the experience kind of just taught me that I have to rely on God more for things, and I have to be more, I have to listen, you know, open my ears and listen and try to block out the noise and try to hear his voice and the direction that he has for my life. And, you know, to be more of a light for my clients, the people I see day to day. Like, you know, I'm a nice person, and I feel like I'm a good person. And I feel like when I speak with my clients and everything, I talk about God, and they know I believe in God, and, you know, all of that, and that I have standards and things of that nature. But that apparently wasn't enough. Like, now it's kind of like I'm so it's a different conversation at this point. So yeah, you know, also I came back a little bit more structured in my mindset. Like, I can see, like, when I make certain choices and decisions that, like, that's not gonna work. If I do that, then this is not gonna work. Like, if I, you know, back and forth, whatever. So yeah, this video is mainly for my clients, present and future, to let y'all know how I got stranded in Jamaica, my experience. And even though at first, to me, I was viewing it as a negative, it turned out to be a positive, because I was by myself. I was just in a world where I would wake up and I had nothing to do that morning, just lay in bed, whatever. Other than being bitten by mosquitoes, me say, if the place not have a whole heap of mosquito, then I eat me for breakfast, lunch, and then a mosquito. Yeah, I sleep, zzz, poof. You know how much time I box myself in my face with mosquito? I hear mosquito and I'm asleep. I do not miss the mosquitoes. But yeah, I mean, that's it. That's all for real. You know, just my experience. I wanted to let it be known that sometimes you may feel like life is not going how you envisioned it, or but at the end of the day, you can see past your nose. God see the big picture. So sometimes it's just it's for your own benefit. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like what's going on here, I don't know what to do, I don't know what's next, just pray and listen. Pray and listen. That's all I could tell you. Just pray and listen. Allow God to work, and he'll show up in your life. Cause it's I was singing and praising and everything. Like the one song said, praise him in advance. You gotta thank God for the things that he's gonna do for you in the future. And what's the other song that I was listening to? Gracefully Broken. Y'all ever heard that song, Gracefully Broken? When I tell you, woo, I got chills thinking about it. But yeah, oh my goodness, I was not expecting this video to be this long, y'all. I'm about to go. It is almost time for me to wake up my child from his nap. That's how long I've been on here. So I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I am gonna go ahead and do the edits tonight because I need to be more consistent with posting on here. It's just really and truly, that's another thing. As a small business owner, you try to do everything on your own, but things be slipping through the cracks, and I have to learn how to outsource. Like, find me a video editor or something. But some people, I watch them and they're like, oh yeah, edit my videos, or you see them in the next video editing the video that they just posted or whatever, and I'm like, that's inspirational. I can do that too. I can edit. I can get this done. So what I do need to do is have a time where I do block that time out specifically for editing, like every week or something like that. So yeah, and then recording videos. Like right now, it's a quiet time. I don't always have these quiet moments. I'm here. I don't have a client. My baby's taking a nap. And so if y'all are hearing any background noises, it's probably the car is driving up and down on the road. But this, like, I just really have to block out the time to do this, like while I'm here at the salon, I guess during his nap time, to make sure I get these videos out for you guys so you can see what I'm doing, as a business owner, as a mom, and as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, mompreneur, whatever. I did start vlogging when I first was transitioning into this space. Incorporate that. I do have videos that I have recorded of me doing clients that I have not yet uploaded. So I do have content, I just need to upload them. So I will. 2025, new beginnings. It is the 22nd, so happy new year. The month is almost over, y'all, and here we are, just getting started over here. So that is my story. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching this video. Rate, comment, subscribe, whatever. If you had any similar experiences, y'all, I'm letting you know, if you are traveling internationally, make sure your passport is 6 months before the expiration date. Like, if it's gonna be expired in 6 months, get your new passport so you don't go through the same problems. You do not want to get caught stranded in a country where you don't have like your livelihood and everything set up, because it's rough. Okay, it's really rough. So that's it. Mwah.